Warning: due to the graphic content in this program, viewer discretion is advised.
A woman who was supposed to provide therapy to troubled boys behind bars has now admitted she was the one doing the harm. Her name is Maya Hayes. Her nickname among inmates and even staff, Bigfoot. And what she pled guilty to would make anyone's skin crawl. 47-year-old Hayes worked as a counselor at Brookwood Secure Center, a juvenile lockup facility up in Columbia County, New York. But according to prosecutors, and eventually, her own guilty plea, she wasn't there to help anyone heal. She was there to pray. It all came to light after several boys came forward with consistent stories of abuse. These weren't just accusations. They were detailed, grim accounts. Hayes used her position of authority to manipulate these kids, trading things like snacks, hygiene products, phone time, even special meals in exchange for sex acts. And yes, some of these boys were as young as 15. In a case that stretched over months, investigators uncovered that this wasn't a one-time lapse in judgment. This was a pattern. Multiple boys, multiple assaults, repeated behaviors, and worse, staff at the facility allegedly knew what was going on. They laughed about it, called her Bigfoot as some kind of sick joke, and nobody stopped her. Hayes ultimately pleaded guilty to one felony count of criminal sexual act. And even though she originally faced over 60 charges including rape and sexual assault, this plea deal means she'll serve up to 2.5 years in state prison. She'll also be under supervision for another 10 years and must register as a sex offender for at least 20. Now let's be real. 2.5 years. For abusing multiple children in state custody. That sentence sounds lighter than the vending machine snacks she used to buy their silence. According to court documents, Hayes once told a boy she was sexually frustrated at home, and claimed she got off by performing acts on these teens. In one instance, she allegedly asked a 16-year-old if he liked big boobs, while forcing him to touch her. This isn't just inappropriate. It's a calculated form of grooming and power abuse. And here's where things go from tragic to systemic. Victims' lawsuits claim the facility created the perfect environment for this kind of abuse to go unchecked. One boy says the staff knew. They watched her take kids into private offices. They turned a blind eye. And when Hayes finally got arrested back in April, that same culture of silence was still protecting her. One of the victim's attorneys put it best. He said this guilty plea is only the beginning. Because, while Maya Hayes might be on her way to prison, there are still people working in that facility who enabled her. Let me say this clearly, these were children, locked up, vulnerable, isolated, and instead of receiving the counseling they needed, they were being used by the very person assigned to protect them. That's not just a failure of one person. That's a full system collapse. So now the question becomes, who else is going to be held accountable? Because this story may have ended in a courtroom, but the damage started a long time before that. Please help the channel by liking, sharing, or commenting below. This is Women Are Evil Too, and stay alert. Because sometimes, the monsters hiding in plain sight don't look like monsters at all.